I've been married for 10 years, but I'm still in love with my ex-girlfriend. It was a quiet Tuesday evening, the kind that slips away unnoticed, lost in the fog of routine. The soft hum of the dishwasher filled the kitchen as I sat at the dinner table, absently scrolling through my phone. Emma, my wife of 10 years, was in the living room, lost in the pages of a novel. Everything was as it always was, comfortable, predictable, secure. And yet, my mind was somewhere else. Or rather, with someone else. It had been years since I'd last seen her, Sarah, my ex-girlfriend. We dated in college, and for a time, she was everything to me. We were young, reckless, and deeply in love. But, like many first loves, ours burned too brightly and too fast, crashing into a mess of fiery arguments and misunderstandings. The breakup was ugly, brutal. It left scars, but life moved on, as it always. Then came Emma. Sweet, caring, stable Emma. We met through mutual friends, and within a year, we were married. She was everything Sarah wasn't: calm, understanding, and most importantly, steady. Our life together was easy, without the wild highs and lows. We bought a house, settled into jobs, and before I knew it, a decade had passed. By all appearances, we had the perfect marriage. And yet, a month ago, Sarah's name appeared on my phone. It wasn't anything dramatic, a simple friend request on social media. I hesitated before accepting, unsure of what I was opening up. Curiosity? Nostalgia? Guilt? The moment I clicked accept, the floodgates opened. Sarah and I exchanged casual messages at first, nothing more than a few polite "How have you been?" and "Life's good, how about you?" But as the days passed, the messages became more frequent, longer, more personal. It was as if the 10 years between us had never existed. I should have told Emma. I should have stopped the messages before they began to matter. But I didn't. And now, I was caught in the web of my own making. Tonight, while Emma read her book, my phone buzzed. Another message from Sarah. I slid my phone off the table and opened it, already knowing what to expect. "Do you ever think about us? About what could have been?" I stared at the message, my heart pounding in my chest. A part of me wanted to delete it, to block her number, to shut the door I never should have opened. But another part of me, the part I didn't want to admit existed, felt a surge of something I hadn't felt in years. Excitement. I quickly typed back a response, my fingers moving faster than my mind could keep. I pressed send and immediately regretted it. What was I doing? I had a wife. A life. A future. But even as the guilt washed over me, I couldn't stop thinking about Sarah. I remembered the way she used to look at me, the wildness in her eyes, the way we couldn't keep our hands off each other. That kind of passion, it never dies. It just goes dormant, waiting for a spark. And Sarah was a spark. That night, as I lay in bed beside Emma, the weight of my deceit settled over me. She reached for my hand, like she did every night, her finger slipping between mine with the ease of familiarity. But my thoughts weren't with her. They were with Sarah. And I hated myself. Over the next few weeks, the messages between Sarah and I grew more intense, the conversations deeper. We started to talk about the breakup, what went wrong, what could have been different. It was as if we were revisiting the ruins of our past, trying to understand what had gone wrong. But the more we talked, the more I realized something terrifying. I was still in love with her. It wasn't a fleeting feeling or some romanticized memory. It was real, raw, and undeniable. I didn't want to admit it to myself, but the truth was, my feelings for Sarah had never gone away. They had just been buried beneath layers of responsibility, marriage, and time. And now, with every message we exchanged, those feelings clawed their way back to the surface. One night, after yet another conversation with Sarah that left me reeling, I found myself standing in the hallway outside our bedroom, my phone clutched tightly in my hand. I stared at the closed door, hearing Emma's soft breathing from. I was at a crossroads. I could end it. Cut Sarah off, delete her number, block her on every platform, and commit myself fully to Emma. Or I could take a step into the unknown, reconnect with the woman I had never truly gotten over, and risk everything. And then, the decision was made for me. I opened my phone to find a new message from Sarah. It was a single line. "I'm in town. Can we meet?" My breath caught in my throat. A part of me screamed to ignore it, to shut the phone off and walk away. But another part of me, the part that had been lying dormant for years, told me to go. I wasn't ready to admit it then, but I had already made my choice. That night, I lied to Emma. Told her I had to work late the next day, some excuse I knew she would accept without question. The following evening, I found myself in a dimly lit cafe, sitting at a corner table, waiting for Sarah to walk through the door. When she did, it was like no time had passed. The connection was instant, electric, undeniable. And as she sat across from me, smiling in that way only she could, I knew that whatever happened next would change everything.